Hello guys, my name is Daisuke. This time I will talk about your instruction manual. The contents are: what is a human? Definition of a human being. What what are aliens? Definition of time. Third and fifth dimensions. What is happiness? Life. Looking back on life. Then please move on to the next page. What is a human being? What do you think a human being is? A human being is a body? I'll teach you something good for such people who said that a human being is a body. Think about it carefully. What is he talking about? I know you will say that. You don't know anything about the body. You have no interest in it. Only when you get sick do you wonder why it hurts or what the cause is. That's all. So, I'll tell you the secret of the body. What do you get when you break down your body? You get muscles, organs, and bones. When you break those down even further, you get cells. When you break those down even further, you get atoms. The body's constituent elements are oxygen, nitrogen, hydrogen, iron, magnesium, etc. The human body is made up of the atoms. Atoms vibrate. Atoms gather together to become cells, which then gather together to become organs, bones, and finally the body. Okay, humans are a collection of atoms. Please move to the next page. Humans are a collection of atoms, so they vibrate. Vibrating means frequency. Frequency is how many times it vibrates per second. If it vibrates 10 times per second, it's 10 Hz. If it vibrates 100 times per second, it's 100 Hz. Okay? The human body is a collection of atoms that vibrate. Please move on to the next page. This is the definition of a human being. I don't think anyone talks about this, but I will. This is a human condition. It is visual to the human eyes. Because if you can't see it with your eyes, people say there's nothing. That's why it has to be visible to the eyes. Second, it has to have the same shape as what we call human beings. Because we said that if we have a different shape, we are different organs. Next, you need to move. They said that if you don't move, you are dead. You can only be called human if these three conditions are met. Two of the human conditions are judged by what we see with our eyes. Interesting, isn't it? People who are blind cannot judge whether they are human or not. So let's think about the human eye. The range that the human eyes can see is called the visible light range. Did you know about the visible light range? If you did, what would you call a human? If you understand this, what would you call a human? You probably don't know. Let me explain. The range that the human eye can see is a frequency of 400 to 900 terahertz and the wavelength of 330 to 800 nanometers. Yes, this range is called the visible light range, and it can be seen by the human eye. Okay? Why is the range of what the human eye can see expressed in frequency and wavelength? Do you understand? As I explained on the previous page, humans are vibrations and frequencies. Think about it carefully. Please move on to the next page. What is an alien? The condition for an alien, it can be seen with the human eye. If you can't see it, you said nothing. The next condition is something you've never seen before and think doesn't exist on Earth. Because if you've seen it, you think it exists on Earth. The next condition is that it moves. Because if it doesn't move, you think it's just something. The important thing here is that it can be seen and that you haven't seen. What the two conditions have in common is that you see it with your eyes. Your judgment is that you value what you see with your eyes. Yes, but what you see is just a vibration and frequency. Don't forget this. Please move on to the next page. The definition of time. What is time? Famous scientists sometimes debate this, but if you think about it carefully, you'll understand that time is useful for the human body, but not for the mind or consciousness. Because the mind and consciousness can look back on the past. Because you can easily travel back in time. If you are asked what you ate last night, you will answer by looking back at the scene from yesterday. Yes, your consciousness and mind can instantly travel back in time. But what about your body? You can't. So only your body is constrained by time. The period during which your body is called a human is only between birth and death. Yes, that's why time is necessary as a measure of a human's life. Did you get the answer? Yes, it is a measure of our human's life. Please move on to the next page. About third and fifth dimensions. Third dimension is the world expressed by the brain as a cube with length, width, and height. Fifth dimension is the world expressed by the brain with length, width, height, plus the strength of energy. Why is it called the world expressed by the brain? Do you understand? Because the brain receives signals with a frequency of 400 to 900 terahertz that are captured by the human eye and creates images. So, the world that humans see is a frequency, a vibration, but the brain converts it into object and scenery. So the third and fifth dimensions are simply created by the brain. Please go to the next page. What is happiness? You are misunderstanding happiness. Living in a bigger house than others, driving a luxury car, wearing more expensive clothes than others, more than others. Your standard is other people. Don't you think that if you have better things, better food, better clothes, better school, etc. than others, you are happy because other people are the standard? Such things have no meaning after death. Would you take them with you after you are died to heaven? I have never heard of houses disappearing or luxury cars disappearing after you die. So such things are meaningless. So what can you take home with you when you die? Think about it. Yes, you can take home the memories of your experiences. Why? Because you remember them. That was a failure or this was the most shining moment of your life. If you think a little more positively, you decided on the theme of your life before you were born, and you were able to accomplish that theme while you were playing a human. I think it's better to think like that. So ask yourself, what was the theme you decided on? Knowing that and playing a human, I think you will live a fulfilling life. Let's call that fulfilling life happiness. Please move on to the next page. Life. As I said on the previous page, you can't take things heaven with you when you die. The only things you can take heaven with you is the experiences you have. The period during which you can have those experiences is called life. It's the period from birth to death. During the time you are called a human, and can have various experiences. You can experience many things such as running, falling, bleeding, being hit, being loved, traveling and going to school, etc. In other words, you can only experience these things while you have a body. You have a body from birth to death. That's why that period is called life. Please move on. Looking back on your life, it is often said that you look back on your life when you are about to die. You haven't experienced it yet because you are alive. Looking back on your life is thinking back on the experiences you have had from the time you were born until the time you were about to die. What have you experienced? That's all there is to it. The important thing is that no one judges what you have experienced as good or bad, because good and bad require standards. If you were to judge it, which standard would you use? Is it the law, the constitution, or religion, or? There are many standards, and depending on the standards, it can be anything. So, what is important to you? Think about it. What is it? The answer is how much you have experienced what you want to do. Your life is yours, so what you want to experience is important to you. Are you currently doing what you want to experience? You can't lie to yourself. I will ask again. Are you doing what you want to experience? Thank you for watching until the end. I think I will do what I want to do too. Thank you. Bye bye.